everyone! Welcome to the 134th episode of Talking Times. Today we will start a new format, very serious, informative, no shenanigans, no funny business, just useful tips. And I'm joking, of course I'm joking. We're gonna have an amazing episode with a lot of interesting things, and today I'm here with teacher Erica. Hi. And you're about to meet her right after our new podcast intro. Hello, welcome Erica. How are you?
Not bad. Could be better.
Nice. First, it's been 1 year and 3 months that we've known each other, I guess.
Since October 15, 2004.
Yeah, time flies, you see. Before we start, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Erica Rodrigues Ela. I've been teaching English at Times Idiomas for more than a year. I'm grateful for being part of the team, and I'm glad that I'm here for my first podcast.
No, it's gonna be nice, and it's very interesting because after a long time away from Times, platform where we work, I returned in the same week that we've met in that training. And it's nice to see because I remember right after you started training, I had a lot to learn as well because I was working on other parts of the company. And it's amazing to look back, and that this was a very nice year. We got some prizes. Congratulations, everyone, I had to mention. But okay, before we start, Erica, tell me a little bit of how did you learn English? What was the motivation for you to start?
Well, I started learning English because my mom had a client that I went to her salon, and she spoke English fluently, and she was speaking on the phone with a friend of hers. Mm-hmm. And I got interested when I listened to her speaking in English, and of course I didn't understand anything she said. And I told my mother that I wanted to learn to speak English. At the time, my mom always kept me busy. So I used to take ballet classes, swimming lessons, and I finally started learning English when I was 8. And I didn't like taking ballet classes. I used to skip ballet classes because I thought it was boring. But I kept taking English classes, and I studied English for 10 years at PBF. Pink and Blue Free.
Ballet classes, it sounds very demanding, right? You have to, it's very strict, I imagine. A lot of classes. Then
it was twice a week.
Twice a week?
But it was boring.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy.
But this is interesting because I guess when you saw your mom talking to a client, when we are kids, it looks like a superpower, like I don't understand what that person says. Oh, but my mom can, and they can interact. It's like, oh, I want to know.
Actually, her client was speaking with a friend of hers on the phone. My mom doesn't speak English.
Okay.
I got interested because my mom's client was speaking with someone.
You heard the client?
Yes.
Okay. And so you started as a kid there, and how are the classes for you? Because you mentioned you skipped ballet because they were boring, but the English ones, was it fun? And did you have like some teachers that inspired you?
I started when I was 8. Mm-hmm. And 2 years later, I got a scholarship. So I studied English for free for 10 years.
Oh,
my
nice.
mom only had to pay for the material. And at the beginning, they don't teach grammar lessons, mm-hmm. but the course was based only on grammar. There were no conversation classes. Just the focus was grammar. And at the beginning, they just teach out the alphabet, numbers, colors, and things like this, basic things. Mm-hmm. when I was a teenager, then grammar became more difficult, like present perfect was difficult.
A lot of students flopped when they got to the
Then I had a teacher, her name was Mary, and she told me she motivated me to start reading English, to improve my vocabulary and to learn the verb tenses, and then my English improved.
Nice. Do you remember what was the first book you read in English?
Good question. Let me see if I remember.
Yeah, because for me it was a terrible choice. Don't do that. But I started with Game of Thrones, because I didn't have the habit to read in English. I like to watch movies and series. And I think I was a teacher already. I guess I was a teacher. Maybe I'm talking about 2011, 2010, something like this. It was a bit before the first season started. And I said, since it's based on books, I prefer to read the books before watching the series or the movies, so I will not imagine the characters like the actors. It's a silly thing, but I wanted to do that. I've learned so much because of the vocab of the books, like the words that you don't use on your daily basis. I learned there is useless stuff, but it's interesting if you are in that niche. So what was it, like a romance or an adventure book? What was it?
Actually, I don't quite remember the first book that I read in English, but I remember that the publisher was Longman.
Okay.
The name of the publishers.
Nice. And okay, so after that, before you moved abroad, let's keep this for a bit later. You were also a teacher here at times, of course. And how was the experience for you teaching the classes here? What are your top 3 favorite classes?
This is my favorite school that I've been teaching. I've been teaching for 15 years.
Nice.
And mostly I work at franchise schools, teaching in person. And I prefer teaching online. I prefer working home office. It's a dream for me. And I love my work schedule that I get to work in the afternoon, in the evenings. And it's great because the students get to learn grammar and conversation at the same time. So it doesn't take 10 years for them to learn English.
Yeah, this is something that I remember when I was talking to candidates to be students. And one thing that I had to talk to them was about that, like why some people study English for 4 years, 5 years, sometimes 10. And if they are in a real life situation where they need to use the language, for example, you are traveling, somebody asks you information on the street, they panic because some schools focused on grammar and they don't have conversations. But when you do both at the same time, or you incentivize them just to use English as a tool to interact, like your teacher, you mentioned, she said, pick a book that you like and read it in English. So you are already using the language like a bridge to connect you to something that you enjoy. It makes all the difference. And then it becomes something natural. I remember the first time I had a friend that I could use my English was like, oh my God, that's so simple, When did you start learning the conversation part? Was it before you traveled or was during when you...
It was after I moved to America as an au pair.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it was great because I've always dreamed to go to America. My dream was go to Disney.
Okay.
But I didn't have the opportunity, so I gave up on that dream. Then when I was in college, I was at Mackenzie. I was studying administration and foreign trade. I studied for 2 years. And my mother told me that it would be better if I moved to America to live the American dream. So I actually, when I was at Mackenzie, I got a job at Oracle, an international company. And I shouldn't have gone to America. I should have just waited for my vacation and traveled as a tourist.
Okay.
But then my mother incentivized me to move there, to have more opportunities in life. Then I moved as a au pair, which is the same as a nanny in French. And I went with the agency 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗺𝗀, and I spent 1 year living with a host family in Portland, Oregon. And they took me to Canada, so a ski resort Whistler for a week.
America and Canada already, 2 countries.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I got to work in different jobs in America, and then I got married in Hawaii.
Hawaii?
In Hawaii.
Nice.
Because I've always wanted to live by the beach.
Nice.
And so that's why I'm glad that I'm back in Brazil living time.
No, nice. And what was your first impression when you got there? We were chatting a little bit about that. Because when people go to United States, there are different versions, but some people, they say they see some things in movies or in TV shows, and they imagine when they will get there, it's going to be exactly like they saw on TV. And some people, sometimes they have different expectations. When they go there, they feel a bit disappointed. So how was it for you, Erica? The first time you say, oh my God, I am in another country. What did you see?
When I arrived in America, I arrived in New York. I was there for only 45 minutes. So I took a bus tour, went to the Empire State Building.
5 minutes only?
45 minutes.
45.
I was only there for 45 minutes. So I just got to see the Empire State Building, but it was cloudy, so I couldn't see the Statue of Liberty. And I went to Times Square. I drove past by the Central Park, the World Trade Center Memorial. Then I went to Connecticut, then I stayed there for a weekend, all the au pairs, and they all went to different states to live with different host families. But actually, Portland, Oregon is called like a different country outside of America.
Why?
Because the culture there is different. It's like the greenest state in America. They're not as consumerists as most of Americans are.
They're more laid back and like natural lifestyle.
Natural lifestyle. I learned how to become a vegetarian in America when I was in college at the university. I was a vegetarian for 2 years.
2 year?
Yes, and when I returned to Brazil, my mother made me go back to eat meat.
You need to be 12.
You need to be omnivorous. I'm back to the vegetarian diet now.
How was it for you? I was for 10 months. You know, it was very interesting.
Actually, it's easier to be a vegetarian in America than it is in Brazil, because here there are not many options. Unless you go to the natural stores and buy your own produce, fruits and vegetables. You can go to the farmer's market as well.
Yeah.
But in America, actually, most of the restaurants over there in Portland, Oregon, they have options like vegan and vegetarian options on the menu.
So it's a cultural thing, even if it's, I guess it's about, how can I say, demand. If there is the possibility
of demand.
Yeah, a vegetarian will go there, they will have the option.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. I used to eat a lot of, for me it was easy actually. It was surprisingly easy. I love barbecue, I love meat. But when I decided to do this, I said, it was more for health issues, and I wanted to see how my body would respond, how I would feel, you know. And since I was eating eggs, cheese, that are 2 things that I really like, based a lot of grain too, because people imagine that this is something nice for you to tell us too. When people say, "Oh, I'm a vegetarian," they imagine you eat salad only, but actually there's a lot of
vegetables, the
pasta too,
calcium,
yeah, there's
protein.
There's a lot of options.
I never got sick in America. I lived there for 8 years and never got sick.
8 years, okay. And okay, so tell me a little bit more. You mentioned New York. Then we're gonna talk about Oregon, Connecticut. It's a tricky word to say, right? So, how did you feel when you were in New York? Was similar what you see in movies, or you were disappointed? I know it was fast, but how did you feel when you were there?
I was excited at Times Square.
Nice.
All the lights, all the people.
It's a place that I would like to go, and it didn't have time, right? But I would like to go to Central Park there too in New York. It's silly, it's a park, I know, but
I've always want to go to Central Park because of the movie Home Alone.
Yeah, this one there is one Oh my God, people are gonna. Very sad one is with Richard Gere, Sweet November, I guess. Charlize Theron. You guys can help me because there is one with Keanu Reeves and there is one in
Keanu Reeves Matrix.
Yeah. There is one that is with Keanu Reeves, one with Richard Gere, and the actress in one of the movies is Charlize Theron. In the other movies, Winona Ryder, I guess. No, Julia Roberts is the pretty woman, yeah. But it's a movie about how can I say this without giving any spoilers? The name of the movie is the name of a month, like Sweet November and Autumn in New York. Autumn in New York.
I haven't watched it yet.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Sad, but beautiful. Okay, now then you went to Oregon. Tell us a little bit about Oregon. What will people see there? You mentioned the different lifestyle. What else is different about that place?
Actually, most people there is like in Holland. They use bikes to commute everywhere, to work, to school. Everywhere they go by bicycle. It rains a lot. It rains 8 months out of the year.
Is it close to New York or is like up in the north?
Northwest.
Okay. Okay.
It's not on the East Coast. It's not on the East Coast.
I failed in geography. No, I was trying to draw the map in
It's close to Washington, Seattle, Washington.
Okay. Have you... Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, but you mentioned a green state. One that... I took this test once that is like you answer a lot of questions online and it's supposed to recommend you the best state that will fit your profile. And I got Wyoming. And have you ever been there?
No, I have no idea where it's located in the map of America.
Yeah, because
Which part of America is located?
It's almost up there in Canada, but on the east. No, the west.
The west side.
The west, yeah. But why I took this one? Because of the mountains, chilly place. So it looks like those landscapes you see in Canada when you see the videos of like
the mountains and snow.
Yeah, exactly this. So I guess is Seattle up there is the one below, I guess. So it's a place I would like to know there. And how was for you to learn English there? Was it easy, for example, because you mentioned that the course was focused a lot on grammar. So when you got to another country, you were by yourself, right?
I lived with a host family, the American host family.
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't know anybody before, right?
Before I moved to America, no.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a family in Hawaii. They invited me to go to Hawaii, but I decided to go to Portland, Oregon, because I wanted to experience something different, like the snow.
No.
That I have never seen snow before.
And you are a beach person, so I imagine you in the snow there, like. Okay, maybe.
Actually, I learned how to snowboard.
Really?
It was very fun because I work at a ski resort in the government camp called 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗶𝗺, and I was selling lift tickets on the weekends, and I had the free pass to snowboard on the weekends.
Is it difficult?
It's very fun. Just to have to keep your balance.
No, I imagine, yeah, because we just recorded a video about winter sports. It's gonna be out in a few weeks, I guess. February, right?
February.
Okay.
Now that I learned how to snowboard, I can learn how to surf.
Oh, this is another thing.
Skating is very difficult. I don't want to fall on the ground and scrape myself.
Have you ever tried to surf?
I had an experience when I was paddling, but then nobody taught me how to stand up on the board and catch a wave.
It's so difficult at the same time.
You have to have instructions first.
Yeah, I saw. And the last time I almost, and then I said, oh man, we don't have enough time. They were doing that one that is like stand up, I guess is the name. It's just a thick board and you go like with a roar. Yeah, a paddle. Yeah. And then you ask the person, because it's like this, you pay some money and you rent for like 1 hour. And then, is it tough? No, you just need to, they explain in a way that after you learn how to keep your balance is okay. but it's one specific board. But to really surf, it looks so badass. It looks amazing.
It looks very difficult.
I imagine the sensation must be amazing. I've never tried. When I was a kid, only like those body boards, but that doesn't count. Okay, so you learned how to ski. That was a cultural experience that we don't expect to.
No, ski, no. I'm not interested in skiing. Just snowboard.
But could you do it like?
Because the ski, I think, is more difficult than snowboarding.
Really?
Because you have to hold the sticks on your hands and put it on your feet. There's too much going on, so I think the snowboard is just simple.
I imagine this one, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I imagine it could be easier because if you lose your balance, you can use the sticks. But like you said, there's more information to think about. So after this, I was asking about the conversation aspect. So how was it for you to start actually talking English after going there? Because
I was reading bad story, the books for the kids. I took care of 3 kids, and I used to read every night for them. So I was reading kids' books, fairy tales, Disney books. And the kids would correct my pronunciation.
Really?
And they're very
they have
sweet.
no filter. Yeah.
And they will help me out. And then I just was observing them and speaking, the family, the parents, the kids. It took about, I think, 2 months for me to start speaking English.
2 months? That was very fast. Because you were living the language, right? Yeah.
Yes, I was listening to the news in English, listening to music, watching DVDs. Back in the day, we were DVDs.
Yeah.
And I also had the other pairs to interact with on the weekends.
Nice. And they were from
different countries.
Yeah, this is something. I had a friend. He was actually here in the podcast, Victor. He met his wife when he was an au pair. He is specialized in kids with special needs, you know. And then he was. It's a male au pair which is something rare, but since he had this qualification, he had a perfect fit with the family. And he met his wife there, which was another au pair, you know. And he mentioned this, Mike, for me, it took me a long time to make friends with Americans. He felt that it was very segregated. But with people from other cultures, the other au pairs, like, I met a Colombia, a person from, I don't know, Europe, from many different places, including his wife. He said that it felt like a community. So was it something like this, like the au pairs, like one helps each other out?
Actually, I lived in the suburbs, so just big houses, big cars, families and kids.
Those houses without a fence, like those we see in movies, like Marley and Me.
With the basement, with the attic. And then there was Portland downtown. And when I was in America, when I moved there, I was only 20, so I couldn't drink. But when I turned 21, my host family took me downtown to go drink and celebrate 21.
But it's not like we do in Brazil, right? You cannot just get a bottle and drink on the streets there.
Some people, they hide in a paper bag.
Everybody knows what it is, right? They get that paper bag. And like those we carry bread here. You know, oh, what is that? Maybe he's carrying some vegetables. Yeah, but it's prohibited, right? It's
yeah, people cannot walk and drink.
Yeah. And okay, nice. So you that was an important moment. You got 21 there. Did you have the opportunity to drive there?
Yes, I had an international driver's license. I got my driver's license in Brazil. Then I got the international driver's license. And when I arrived there, I got my Portland, Oregon driver's license.
Is it difficult to do?
No, it was easy. I passed in the first test.
Nice.
But I had a friend who was from South Africa. In South Africa, they drive on the right-hand side.
Oh.
So for her, it was very difficult, so she couldn't pass the test, so she had to return to South Africa.
No, it's very interesting because okay, in a way it makes sense, but you can drive there I guess you get a license, a driver's license. You can do one when you are 16, right?
Yes, the driving age is 16.
But you can only drink when you are 21.
I prefer that because you become more responsible when you're 16.
Exactly.
Then in Brazil, you drink and drive at the same time.
Exactly. It's the opposite. They drink when they're teenagers, and sometimes they drive when they're teenagers. Yeah, unlawfully, but they do. Yeah. Were there other cultural shocks that you've lived when you started living with the host family? For example, food, or maybe in Brazil you used to go to bed and wake up in a different time, and there they had different, I don't know.
They had a routine every day, like they would take the kids to school, prepare the lunch for the kids. Mm-hmm. But they don't eat real food, they just eat sandwiches. And they had an intercom in my bedroom. Like, the house was huge, so they had an intercom all over their house. Not like in Brazil, we scream to call people
it's like,
in the house.
Oh, dinner's ready!
So just push the button and call them, dinner's ready.
I'm laughing because that's how we communicate to my family sometimes. Tim.
And I couldn't understand what was the plate, what was the dish. And then when I came downstairs, and she said, "Oh, dinner's ready. Here's the dinner." And I was like, "This is the dinner?" I was like, "Yes." I thought it was rice, beans, salad, vegetables, like real food, like we have in Brazil.
Tuna sandwich.
It was a grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh, that was dinner.
That was dinner.
So you were starving all the time at first, I guess.
But they were the typical American family, just ate steakouts, delivery, industrialized foods, canned foods, and they had like a state-of-the-art kitchen with an island with the stove top and everything, and they had tons of cookbooks, but she didn't know how to cook. She just cooked for
special events,
for Thanksgiving, for Halloween and Christmas.
That's so unlikely. Then
it's very cheap to eat out in America. Nobody cooks at home.
But like you said, and you are not the first person who tells me that they don't eat real food. It's like.
But then after I got married, I started eating ethnic foods. I didn't eat American food. I didn't eat pasta. I didn't eat Italian food. I didn't eat burger, pizza. I just ate things like Thai food. It's my favorite.
Is it spicy?
Yeah, it's spicy.
Nice.
Thai food, Mexican, Chinese, Vietnamese, Ethiopian, Lebanese, all kinds of foods from different countries.
Next time you come here, Erica, we should have a menu, and then we could do like a blind test. You get a spoon. I choose you because I like eating. Okay, which one is this? That would be a nice thing to do in one of these episodes. Okay. And is it easy I imagine it's easy, right, to find like you said, ethnic food there. Like I would like to eat food from Vietnam. You will find a place there.
Yes, it's very good on a hangover.
Really?
Lifts you up.
Why? Is the nutrients
It's the broth. It's very healthy.
Nice.
Like I said before, I never got sick in America because the food that I used to eat were organic or ethnic foods, and I never ate junk food in America.
That's intelligent. Very intelligent. Okay. Now, tell me a bit about Portland State University.
PSU.
How was the experience there? And I don't know, what were the main differences that you noticed comparing to the education here in Brazil?
Well, I transferred my school credits from Mackenzie to Portland State, and international students are required to take TOEFL. And in different universities, the requirements are different. But actually, in the PSU, the requirements to take TOEFL, and there was a specific score. I don't quite remember the score, but it was something like, you have to have a score of 206. And then I scored something like 208.
Oh, it was close.
So barely passed, but I was very excited that I passed and I succeeded. And I had a high GPA 4.0. And the requirements was like that you study much more in America than you study here in Brazil. because if you study, you're not supposed to work. Just study, because you have tons of books to read every day. You have to write essays, paper assignments daily. And you have a huge workload to do at work. Now I work at school for studies that is required from the teachers, the professors, and the university professors.
So you had to conciliate both things, like your au pair work and the studies at the same time.
Actually, when I was an au pair, you're not supposed to study at the university. You're just at a community college. So you take basic classes, then you can transfer to university.
Okay. And,
my first class was public speech.
Public speech?
Yes.
Nice.
Some au pairs, they took photography, they took art classes, I took public speaking.
We can use this in that special class that we use for this.
Yes, we have
nice.
Public speaking class.
And how was the curriculum there? Because I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but the impression that I have is that the university there is kind of more focused, not like this holistic thing that you learn a little bit of everything. It's more focused than the studies we have here. How was it for you?
Well, I took BA, Bachelor of Arts, instead of BS, Bachelor of Science. Mm-hmm. And I went to the School of Business. And BA, I took acting classes.
Nice.
I took also Afro studies, Latin studies.
That's why you like Shakespeare. You had to check a lot of Shakespeare, imagine there.
I love the acting classes. And my teacher even recommended me to attend a bilingual theater, just acting. But then I got divorced and I didn't have time to invest in this career, but it was a lot of fun.
Nice. I had a few classes at the university because propaganda, you get a bit of art and a bit of this. It was fun because the teacher was amazing, Teacher Paulo Afonso. It was very funny without trying to be. In I don't know, acting classes, he used to give these improv things, like he would give a crazy topic, you had like 5 minutes to create something, then you had to present to everybody else. But okay, and after that you finished the university, and what were the next steps?
Well, I moved to Holland as well. So I interrupted my studies and I moved to Holland in 2008, and I got a bilingual job at KLM, the airline. But unfortunately, I returned to America, so I gave up on that job. And back in 2009, I returned to Holland again. And I work at a fish factory.
A fish factory?
Yes, producing herring fish, the typical dish in Holland. Then I also worked at 𝗧𝗹𝗵𝗴 factory because my ex-fiancé, he was the CEO of 𝗧𝗹𝗵𝗴. Okay,
wait. It's a lot at the same time. Let me organize my brain here. Where should I go? I guess everybody watching wants to know. Okay, are there any industrial secrets that you can share about 𝗧𝗹𝗵𝗴 that you special about the winner there and the food? And no, you cannot do this, can you?
Well, I worked in the factory with the factory worker with the machinery, and I also worked in the office. But then the factory there was open for a year and a half, and when I moved back there in 2009, the business wasn't doing good, so they had to shut down, so we went out of business. And then he returned to Brazil and I returned to America.
2009, there was that economical crisis, was 2008, if I'm not...
Between 2007 and 2009.
The one about...
the real estate crisis in America. I couldn't sell my house, that's why I lost my house.
You were caught in the middle of that.
I had a floating home.
Damn. And it's very weird because it was a huge event. And I remember people were comparing to the crisis of 29 at the time. That was something that I remember people saying the whole system can crash because a lot of people were, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Erica, it was something like this. a lot of people had a house that they put on a mortgage. They did a loan in the bank to rent a second one, or something like that, and then nobody was renting the second house, so they had a huge debt, and they couldn't pay the banks, and then...
No, well, actually, people had houses, and they were trying to sell their houses. Even if they're trying to sell for half the price or less, they couldn't sell because nobody was buying anything.
I remember it was something huge. And what can you share with us about Holland? What were the experiences and the impressions people can expect?
I had the time of my life in Holland.
What?
The time of my life.
Nice.
I love the lifestyle there because they're different from Americans. They're more laid back. They live the simple lifestyle.
Were you in like big
a small town called 𝗖𝗍𝗃.
We cannot repeat that. 𝗖𝗍𝗃. Okay.
And I worked at Nesta, and it was like about an hour and a half from Amsterdam by train or by car. And one time I went to Amsterdam by car, and I drove at 200 kilometers per hour. It was so exciting. I felt like I was a Formula 1 pilot. It was very fun.
Why? Just because?
Because I have never gone so far at 200 kilometers per hour.
Okay, the roads were good, I imagine, right?
Yes.
It was not like going a dirt road.
I don't know how to drive in Brazil. I feel very stressful, stressed out driving Brazil, but I actually felt great driving in America.
I imagine here, for example, you can get a highway there. And you, like you said, you have miles and miles ahead of you on a straight line.
Usually there are like 4 lanes or more. Yeah. And there were no cars around, so it was safe.
Yeah, no, imagine. So, yeah. And there's no speed cameras too, right?
And in Germany, there is no speed limit.
Really?
Yes, so people drive very fast in Germany.
I never knew this. That's nice. There's no speed limit. So, you guys... How can I say that in English? You guys can help me here. Listen, everybody watch. How do you say ra-da-da-da-da-da-da in English? You guys that like to do that with a motorcycle, go to Germany. No speed limits. You can do that there, Okay, Erica, and what was the food like in Holland?
I didn't quite enjoy the typical food in Holland. My cousin went to visit.
A lot of potatoes.
Actually, they ate deep-fried potatoes, but I never really bought deep-fried potatoes. And croquettes, and they have machines that you put the coin, like a euro, and you get a croquette, but deep-fried. Okay. And I didn't eat that, but I tried like bread with having fish with diced onions on top of it. But when my cousin came to visit me there, and I hated and then she was recording with her camera, and I was like, I spit it out, and I was like, no, this is horrible. Like, it's not like sushi. It's like, it's raw, but it's like, doesn't taste right. But it's
what's the name of the dish?
Haringfish.
Haringfish?
Haringfish.
It's a sushi with bread.
Yeah, it's like they serve the entire fish with the tail and diced onions on top of it. And
no cooking?
No cooking.
Like a fillet or?
It's like, it's not, I don't know how to say in English this, but it's like they keep it in a container with some liquid that preserves the fish. It's like pickles, for example. Okay. It's preserved.
Pickled fish. Oh, it sounds
it's not weird. Raw, it's pickled fish.
Okay.
Pickled fish.
But it sounds weird already.
Yeah, I didn't like the typical Holland food. Okay.
There is somebody here. 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃, I don't know. I love it. He or she is writing Portuguese. I'm watching Erica.
Who is watching?
Is 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃7771. Hi. And okay, then after that you had to move back to Brazil. And what are the tips that you can give to students that want to go abroad and they are going by themselves? So what are the things that you can say that can help them to do this in a, smoother way, in an easier way?
I think they have to be disciplined with the money that they make, that they earn. I saved money for 2 years. I also made Easter eggs every Easter. And I made a lot of money selling Easter eggs to my mom's clients in her salon. So I saved up a lot of money to go to America to do the exchange program. So you just have to be disciplined with your money.
Okay, nice.
That's exactly what I want to do, so I can participate in the Orlando experience this year.
Nice. What about the to do an au pair? What are the things that you can say? What should people do to go on a...
This is the most affordable way to travel abroad. It's being an au pair. So you need to know the requirements because there's an age limit. You have to have experience with children. So I did an experience as a volunteer at an orphanage before I applied to be an au pair. And you can pay in parcels. They divide in parcels. You have to have good English. You don't have to have a perfect fluent English. But you have to be able to communicate. Because the interview was done by phone. So you fill out an application with pictures, with children that you take care of. You write a mini biography about yourself, about your hobbies, about your activities.
This is basically to see if your profile fits with the perfect family.
Yeah, the family that chooses you.
This person likes to do indoor activities. We love indoor activities. It's something like that. They will.
Yes.
Okay. And everybody that does this, they say that normally you get really involved with the family activities, like go to parks, go to places. It's not you're just like you said, you stay there.
You're not an employee, you're part of the family.
That's very nice. But
not everybody becomes part of the family. I became part of the family.
That's nice. And exist different profiles too, because I remember somebody telling me, sometimes you go to a place and you go to a nice family that everything fits. Sometimes you go to a family, everybody's very polite, but sometimes the fit is not perfect, but you can go to another one.
Sometimes they match with a different family.
Nice. And okay, so we mentioned 2 countries already out of 7, but before we go there, about studying abroad, so what are the recommendations that you can give about that?
For American students, they're required to take the SAT when they're in high school.
It's like their vestibular comparing to what we have here.
Yes, it's a test when they finish high school. And for international students, every university is different. The one in Portland requires the TOEFL test.
Okay, so do the TOEFL preparation, and the test is pretty much the same steps. Like you need to have a good listening and good comprehension. Like you listen something, you answer the questions in within an amount of time, something like that, right?
Yeah, there is a certain time to finish each part.
And I remember when I helped some students doing the preparation. I never took the exam myself, but I remember the questions, they were a bit tricky. For example, I remember this very clear example. It was like a couple having dinner, so you can listen like they were in a restaurant, and then in the conversation they will mention like blah 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 blah. For example, I'm not into pasta today, for example, or I don't feel like pasta in the middle of the conversation. And the options would be like, what did they choose? And then pasta, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes you really need to pay attention. It's not because you listen the words that is in one of the options that is the right option. So I remember some questions that were like tricky, in this aspect. So I remember telling the students, pay attention, because sometimes will be a not in the middle. I'm not into that. That is gonna be make the difference, You mentioned when you took the test, it was like close, but what was the part for you that you felt was more challenging?
The listening. For all students, the listening is more difficult, it's more challenging.
It is like 40 seconds you have, or 30 seconds, something like this, right? It's like less than a minute, I guess, per question, isn't it?
I don't remember because that was back in 2002.
Yeah, but I remember something like that.
But I think they have writing, speaking, listening, reading comprehension.
So you have to practice a little bit of everything, especially listening. Yeah. Then okay. Going back to the university, Holland, I'm drawing the timeline again. Then you went back to United States. I asked you before we went live about a lot of students, they mentioned feeling homesick, when they go there. Because like you, sometimes the student goes alone and is far from family and friends. Was there a moment that you felt like this, like, oh, I miss Brazil, I miss my friends and family, or no, because it was different? You mentioned you got married and you changed.
I felt homesick, and after being there for a year, I wanted to return back home, back to Brazil. But then my mother decided that I would have more opportunity if I stayed in America, because she wanted me to live the American dream and she wanted to move to America as well. Then I met my ex-husband. Then we lived together for 11 months. Then he proposed me and we got married in Hawaii.
Nice place.
Yes, I went a couple times to Seattle, Washington. I went to Las Vegas 4 times. He invited me to go to Alaska, but I ended up not going. To see the aurora borealis.
Oh, that's beautiful too.
Then I got a cruise ship to the East Coast, but then I ended up not doing the cruise ship because I got divorced before doing the cruise ship. I also went to San Francisco, California. I went to Texas, San Antonio, Texas on a road trip. That's the places that I remember that I visited.
All right. About the cities there, can you tell a little bit about each one? Like, what were the things that you liked, the things that were strange? Start with Hawaii. How was Hawaii?
I stayed at the YMCA camp in Hana.
Okay.
With the local people. It was very peaceful. I was surrounded by nature. Then I got married at beach resort in 𝗓𝗏𝗃 Beach. I got married with the Olay color, like what you get when you arrive there?
It's like
the airport.
That big collar full of flowers.
Yes.
Nice. Were there, like we see in the movies, like people doing the little dance and people do ukulele?
They have the festival
ukulele.
there. It's like cavaquinho.
Yes.
Similar.
Yes. It's the same name. I'm laughing because of it's a very silly, stupid joke. Anyways, comparing to, because you are from Itaim, right?
I'm from São Paulo.
São Paulo.
Capital.
And okay, a beach is a beach, but were there differences comparing to the ones that you know here in Brazil? Because I'm asking, sounds silly, but I have a friend, when he went to Orlando, he said, Mike, even the blueness of the sky was different there. He loved, everything was different, like this. And
I prefer the Brazilian beaches and the Oregon coast beaches.
Okay.
I went to the Cannon Beach. It's usually very cold, even on summertime, so people just walk their dogs, they do picnics, they go to restaurants, they walk downtown, they walk by the beach, but there is not much to do. People just don't get in the ocean because it's freezing. It's the Pacific Ocean.
So it's not a beach that you will go to have a
sunbath, swim.
Okay. Yeah, so that's not that cool. It would be nice, for example, you also like reading, so you like to have this chilling afternoon.
Very peaceful,
you go there, read a book, the sound of the ocean. Oh, I love that. All right, nice. And then, okay, this was Hawaii and Oregon. Then you mentioned California. How was California for you?
I went to Sausalito, it's the other side of the bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge. Then I visited the hippie neighborhood in San Francisco. I just don't remember the name of the neighborhood now. And I rode a double bike through the bridge. That was fun. I guess me and my ex-husband were trying to save our relationship, but it was already over. So when I returned back to Portland, I asked for divorce. Because Americans, they don't have companionship like Brazilians. All they care about is money, all they care about is like material things.
Okay, so that's the reason you enjoy the other city that you said that is very different, Oregon, right? It's
Holland.
Holland. No, the one
not Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, this one you mentioned that is the greenest city there.
Yeah, it's like most of the people there, they're like hippies, like they're
it's
like
a different vibe.
Love and peace. And I live in a hippie neighborhood in the southeast, and they're not materialistic at all.
Were they friendly in general?
Yes, they were friendly. And of course, there were different neighborhoods, the upscale neighborhoods, and all kinds of tribes living there. But then I also work in a punk rock bar.
Really?
It was very fun. I worked there for the summer. And even like Oregon was the greenest state and had this vibe of being laid back. Most people just like to consume things every day. Like, for example, my first car, I bought it after a year.
Is it cheap there? Because
yes, I saved up $4,000, and I bought my Honda GX hatchback, green metallic, and that was my first car. And then my ex-husband convinced me to buy a Mini Cooper S, and I bought a black one. And I didn't think it was necessary for me to buy a new car or a fancy car, a sports car. And I think we're definitely not on the same page, because I always had a simple life in Brazil. I never even had a car in Brazil.
Way you describe it, it looks like people are... It's like a different life pace in a way. I don't know if I agree with that, but it's like people are trying to numb themselves when you are always consuming.
Yes, they buy things every day.
You don't stop and enjoy the moments. Like you said, sometimes you're in a beautiful place and people don't enjoy that, being in contact with nature and something like this. So... yeah, I imagine it's kind of ironic in a way, because like you said, you go to a place, there are many opportunities. You can, if you want, you can eat well, you can get some things, but people are never in the present, always thinking about the next thing.
It's never enough.
Yeah. You know what you should do? You have done so many things. You should write a book about it. That would be nice.
I don't think nobody would read it.
No, it depends on you.
I have too many secrets.
No, you don't have to. Or no, you can do what is the thing, like with an alias, so they will not know that it's you. You change
persona.
Yeah, do it like with an alias, and I don't know, like create a catchy title. I don't know, I will not create one right now on the top of my head, but something about experiences that I had there, something like this, and like, what is this about, And then
experience living abroad.
Yeah, something like this. It would be nice, because if you write a list of every different thing that you've done in this last hour that we have been talking, places you visited, from a punk rock bar to a Sadia factory that you said, and
I've been all over the place.
Yeah, it's a lot of different things.
And I work corporations in America as well.
Oh man!
Like a bilingual Spanish English call center, Epic system.
You work as a call center there.
I was speaking Spanish all day and going to the university at night speaking English.
Damn. Okay, that's a nice way to improve.
My Spanish was good, but now my Spanish is not that good.
Habla un poquito? No, I'm joking. It's the only thing.
Yo estudié por 3 años. Hablo solamente un poquito, pero estoy olvidando.
Gracias. That's... It's like Mr. Bean movie, Oh my God, your French is so good. Gracias.
I cannot speak French.
Yeah, me neither. But okay, just to check, how many languages do you speak, Erica?
3.
Okay, Spanish, English, and Portuguese.
Right.
Okay, nice. All right, now, cultural shocks. What were the cultural shocks in general that you faced there? Something that the students that want to go could be aware. You mentioned one that was the food already. Were there others?
Like I said before, the culture is different than the Brazilian culture, so there's a cultural shock. Most Americans, they live capitalism to its fullest, and they consume things every day, and they like to buy things and show off, and most of them, that's what they care about. And if you move to America, you're going to succeed and you're going to advance in life faster than you do in Brazil, of course, because it's a first world country. But then I experienced the life in Europe, and I learned that even if you're rich, you don't have to have a fancy life. You can have a laid-back lifestyle, simple lifestyle.
Talking to you, it makes total sense why your favorite movie is Captain Fantastic.
Yes, I love it.
Because the idea is exactly like this, the way he lives with his family. Like,
right.
Very.
It's a criticism to the American culture.
Yeah, it's a nice movie, by the way. Put on your list, guys. Okay, now we are running out of time already. Amazing. Okay, tell me about the countries. You only talk about 2, but how many different countries have you visited?
I went to Belgium.
Belgium, okay.
Czech Republic.
Okay.
Paris, France. Germany.
Germany, okay.
Lincoln. Canada.
Okay.
US. Holland.
Okay.
Is missing one?
Hawaii is a state, guys.
Yes.
Don't say Hawaii. Okay. Which ones would you recommend? Which ones you wouldn't, and why?
I didn't like Belgium. Okay. I felt like people there were very cold. Even my experience invited me to go there watch the Formula 1 race, but I ended up not going because I didn't like the country. And the countries that I liked the most was Germany, Czech Republic, and Holland.
Okay, and what were special about these places?
Because people were friendly.
No, it was not the place, it was the people that you felt like you were more welcome there.
Yes.
Okay, and you've also been to many states in the United States. Did you notice the difference in the population, for example, in New York, and then it's like in Brazil, for example, if I go to São Paulo, I would expect people to behave in a way. I go to Minas, people behave in a very different way.
Right.
Is the same there?
The same. When I went to New York, I felt like I was in São Paulo. São Paulo is like a tropical New York. Then when I went to Texas, I didn't like because people were Republicans there. And I don't enjoy the Republicans. There is nothing to do with...
Get out of my country! No.
They have guns, they are pro-guns, and they have a different mentality. And they're selfish people, I think. Then California is a busy state.
Even with the beaches and everything?
I didn't visit the beaches there. My mom, for example, went to Santa Monica, San Diego. I didn't go there, just went to San Francisco. And it's a touristic place. There are a lot of nightlife and things to do. Then, out of all the places that I visited in America, I prefer Portland.
Okay, nice. Okay, we are almost done, Erica. Time flies, but I want to end this conversation with your book recommendations. You made a list, okay?
Yeah, so I don't forget anything.
Yeah, but
I even brought posters here.
Out of this list, you finish with your favorite top 2 or top 3, maybe, okay? Take notes, guys. Okay.
My favorite books are Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare, Child of the Dark by Carolina Maria Jesus. She's a Brazilian author.
Okay.
And her book in Portuguese is 𝗧𝗹𝗵𝗵𝗧𝗶. Then we have the Brazilian author that did a lecture at Harvard University called Pega a Visão by Rick Chester, and a favela venceu by Rick Chester. Then we have Canto dos Malditos by, this name is difficult, 𝗧𝗹𝗵𝗵𝗀. This book inspired the movie 𝗖ще de 7 Cabeças, which describes my favorite movie, my favorite Brazilian movie, Rodrigo Santoro. And then we have Psicologia das Massas e Análise do Eu by Sigmund Freud, Crimes of the Heart by Beth Henley, Os Lusíadas by 𝗖ście 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗧, Gender, Race and Class by Lynn Chancellor and Beverly Xavier Watkins. This book is from Portland State University. Then we have this book my father gave me, 100 Anos de Solidão by Gabriel Garcia Marques, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, 1984 by George Orwell, O Dilema do Onívoro by Michael Pollan, also in English is The Omnivore's Dilemma, and A Menina do Vale by 𝗍𝗶𝗵𝗵. She's a Brazilian person. She's a Brazilian author.
Nice. Erica.
And there's another one, sorry. Diary of Anne Frank, about the Holocaust, a survivor.
Yes.
And I love all the books and movies by Nicholas Sparks.
Okay.
Because they're romantic, and I'm a romantic in revolt.
Nice. I will finish this with that same recommendation. If you don't feel comfortable doing this with your real name, create an alias and write a book about your experience. Would be nice. No, places. It would be. I would read.
Something to think about.
Yeah. Put there in your list, okay?
My bucket list.
Yeah.
Do before I die.
And thank you so much, Erica, for being here. To be the first guest of this year. We are back now. It was nice. And final message to everyone watching us.
Thank you so much for having me on my first podcast.
First of many.
I hope so. And I'm very grateful. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope to see you guys at Times Idiomas in 2026.
Yeah, we will be there. And guys, thank you so much for being here, for watching us. Don't forget, this episode is going to be on Spotify tomorrow. Okay, it's going to be on Spotify tomorrow. And hope next week, same day, same time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.